It began innocently. A wisp, a tendril, creeping in from the east as the sun dipped below the horizon. Willow Creek, nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering willows, barely noticed. The fog, thick and white, flowed like a silent river, swallowing the town whole. It moved with an unnerving speed, blanketing everything in its path. The familiar warmth of the day surrendered to a chilling dampness. Streetlights flickered, casting anemic beams against the encroaching whiteness. Shadows danced, distorted and elongated, playing tricks on the eye. Laughter from the park faded, replaced by an uneasy silence. The fog muffled sound, isolating each home like an island in a sea of white. The air, heavy and wet, carried a faint metallic tang. It was the smell of fear, though the townsfolk didn't recognize it yet. The beauty of the fog's dance was lost on the residents of Willow Creek. They retreated indoors, drawn by an unspoken unease. They shut their windows tight, but the fog found its way in. It seeped through cracks, under doors, a silent, unwelcome visitor. Mrs. Jenkins, her wrinkled face a canvas of time and wisdom, watched from her porch swing. Her cloudy eyes, reflecting the fog outside, held a knowing glint. "Monster's breath," she muttered, her voice a dry rasp. "That's what it is, monster's breath." No one paid her any mind. Mrs. Jenkins was known for her eccentricities, her tales of old magic and forgotten lore. Children, emboldened by daylight, would often gather on her porch, eager for stories of talking crows and mischievous sprites, but there was a darkness to her tales now, a chill that seeped into their bones even as she spoke of fantastical creatures. The children, sensing the shift in her tone, had retreated indoors. They huddled with their parents, their eyes wide with a fear they couldn't quite name. The adults, though outwardly dismissive, felt it too, a primal fear, buried deep within their subconscious, stirred by the fog and Mrs. Jenkins' cryptic words. "Monster's breath," she repeated, her voice a whisper lost in the swirling mist. "It takes what it wants, this fog, takes it and leaves nothing behind." The first to vanish was Old Man Carter. He lived alone at the edge of town, his only companion a scruffy mutt named Buster. Buster was found whimpering at the edge of the fog, his tail tucked between his legs, his eyes wide with a terror that chilled the rescuers to the bone. Of Old Man Carter there was no sign. His door was ajar, a half-eaten dinner on the table. It was as if he had simply stepped out for a moment, swallowed by the fog. The sheriff, a portly man named Thompson, tried to calm the growing fear. "Lost his way, most likely," he'd said, his voice a little too high, his eyes darting nervously towards the swirling white abyss. But even he couldn't deny the unease that gripped Willow Creek. It was in the way people avoided eye contact, the way mothers clutched their children a little closer, the way the silence seemed to hum with unspoken dread. Then young Emily went missing. Emily, a wisp of a girl with eyes the color of the summer sky, had been playing hide-and-seek. She'd vanished into the fog, her laughter echoing for a moment before being swallowed by the silence. The search parties, their flashlights cutting through the white void, found only her doll, lying abandoned in the middle of the road. Panic, like a virus, began to spread. The fog, once a source of mystery and beauty, now pulsed with menace. It pressed against the windows, a suffocating presence. Whispers of the monster's breath grew louder, fueled by fear and the chilling reality of the disappearances. People barricaded themselves in their homes, their faces pale, their eyes wide with terror. The fog became an entity, a predator stalking its prey. Every rustle of leaves, every creak of the floorboards, every sigh of the wind sent shivers down their spines. The town held its breath, trapped in a nightmare of its own making.